The devastation was colossal. A swarm of tornadoes ripped through 13 states in a 24-hour period. 330 deaths, another 5,000 injured. It remains the largest swarm of twisters ever recorded, a historic case study for meteorologists worldwide. And here's a chilling thought. Experts say the question now is not if, but when it will happen again. April 3rd, 1974, that was the date the series of connected tornadoes became known as the super tornado outbreak, the worst ever on record. The incredible images from that day serve as a powerful reminder of Mother Nature's brute force. What you're looking at here is the radar screen with what's called a tornado signature. On this day, April 3rd, 1974, a super twister hovered over Xenia, Ohio. However, the signature was not detected in time to warn of the wrath that would follow. The super twister was a string of tornadoes that hit 13 states in 24 hours. More than 300 people would die from the horrific swarm. Among the hardest hit, Alabama, where 86 people died, 77 in Kentucky. In Tennessee, 50 would die, 49 in Indiana. In Ohio, 41 killed.
Let us get the situation cleared up. There's a lot of emergency vehicles all over the city and county.
Dick Tong was a radio helicopter pilot for station WAVE in Meade County, Kentucky.
You could see it pick up automobiles. You could see it pick up in the tail of it. You could see boards flying around. You could see parts of roof flying around. It was awful.
There's 2 dates in my life I'll never forget, and that was when President Kennedy was assassinated, and of course the April 3rd tornado.
Teacher Harry Craycroft was at a meeting inside a Brandenburg, Kentucky school that day. He survived. His mother, a few miles away at a beauty salon, did not. The city lost 31 people that day.
There was no funnel to it. It was just kind of a wall of dark cloud, and you could see all kinds of debris flying in the air.
It would take years to rebuild the cities hit by the super twister. It would take a while longer for the memories to fade.
When you could look down and see the citizens of this town working together, helping one another. I never seen people come together like that before in my life. Strangers, just helping out and looking through houses for people injured. It was just like everybody forgot their differences and came together.
Well, you're about to meet a man whose life was forever changed by one of those tornadoes. Take a look at this picture of then 9-year-old Daniel Wilson. Well, he spent the night in the basement with his family that day back in 1974. Wilson went on to become none other than a meteorologist and has made charting the weather his life's calling. He joins us live from Lexington, Kentucky. Well, good to see you, Daniel.
Good morning, Fredricka.
Well, many people would go through something like that, remember it, and try to forget it. Instead, you almost relive it all the time, given that now your occupation is a meteorologist. You have forever been fascinated about tornadoes.
That is correct, Fredricka. It seems like that severe weather and tornadoes and thunderstorms have been a very strong interest of mine ever since the '74 outbreak, and I still remember April the 3rd. Every time it comes up, it's always an anniversary to me.
Well, what do you remember about it? You were 9 years old. How do you remember getting the notice that a tornado was on the way? What did you and your family do?
Well, basically, whenever we first realized something was going to happen, the elements seemed to be just a greenish, yellowish cast, and once we received the warnings as they were issued from a local radio station, we went to the basement and remained there throughout the late evening and up into the early morning hours.
So the radio really was your lifeline, so to speak. Back then, there certainly wasn't the kind of technology now, the loudspeaker bullhorns that go off in communities like we're seeing now today. Explain to me how the radio is able to kind of keep you all in touch and kind of keep you calm.
The radio played a big part in protecting lives and property. We in our area had just received a tornado that came through less than a mile from our home in '71, and this tornado that came through the Alpine or Piney Woods area of Pulaski County also brought back memories of that day. and the radio provided information about warnings as the twisters touched down throughout the area where I live and where I'm from.
Okay, and instead of being forever afraid of tornadoes, instead you're kind of forever fascinated by them now. How much have you learned over the years about how you are able to help people take protection or know about the early warning signs and the value of that?
Well, Fredricka, the value of being able to notify people is, it's front and foremost in the line of media and providing information. We have seen technology change to the point to where, with all respect to technology then, when a warning would be issued, in those days, it seemed like that basically we were reading a news story, because sometimes the storm had already passed by the time that pertinent information was relayed.
All right. Daniel Wilson, thanks so much for joining us and helping us know what you went through back in 1974 when the string of twisters went through 13 states.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure this morning.
All right. Well, we'll take a look at what we might expect for this year's tornado season.
Yeah,
Is there a way of doing that?
Well, not exactly, but we're going to talk a little bit about some of the factors, and we're also going to compare technology a little bit when we come up, because radar back in 1974 is a lot different than it is now. So we'll tell you all about that with the nation's forecast coming up.